For the first time since the Great Depression, more people are leaving the United States than arriving. The number is small. The direction is what matters. You have been researching for months. The tax return on the counter shows what you actually banked from a $6,000 invoice. $2,940. The government kept $3,060, more than you did. You have already decided to leave. Yeah. The question now is where they actually go. 7 tabs are open in your browser. You did not open them this morning. They have been open for weeks. A printed guide on the counter is dog-eared at every chapter. You have read the residency rules. You have read the tax tables. You have read the catch on every one. Every option saves you something. Every option costs you something else. The maths is real. The catches are real. The question is which one you can live with. You have not booked anything yet. You are still standing in a kitchen in Brooklyn. Every day, your actual life reminds you of one of those 7 countries. This is one of those weeks. Monday, lunch. You walk to a bodega on 4th Avenue. A single carnitas taco, $6. The Spanish language newspaper rack at the door has yesterday's headline. The expat population in San Miguel de Allende doubled in 3 years. You bite. $6 for this. In San Miguel, the same taco at the Mercado is $1.20 with actual flavor. Rent on a 2-bedroom in the center, $850. Groceries, half. A taxi across town, $2. After U.S. tax and rent, you bank $4,200, $1,260 more than New York, every month. For doing nothing but waking up somewhere else. The catch is at the border. The 6 months in, 6 months out trick you read about on Reddit 2 years ago does not work anymore. Mexico changed the rules. You need a residence permit you did not need 3 years ago. The paperwork is real. The trick that used to work no longer works. Better. Just not as simple as Reddit makes it sound. You finish the taco walking back to work. $1,260 more every month. Evening. Walking home, you stop at the Spanish grocery on Atlantic. Jamon, a wedge of manchego, a bottle of red, $22. At home, on the counter, slicing the jamon thin for dinner. The phone buzzes, an email from a relocation service you signed up to weeks ago. Subject line, Spain, DNV versus NLV. Which path actually works? Spain, the same jamon in a Valencian bar with a glass of wine, €8. Rent in central Valencia, $900. The Mediterranean is a 40-minute walk from the apartment. After U.S. tax and rent, you bank $3,700. But the email is naming the trap. Your search has been circling for a month. The non-lucrative visa renewal requires 183 days in Spain. 183 days is the threshold for tax residency. Spain is the second most aggressive tax jurisdiction in Europe. The digital nomad visa is the only door that does not trigger it. 3 years on a single card. 2 visas, 1 country. 1 is a trap. 1 the rent, lost the simplicity. You finish slicing the jamon. The plate is ready. The decision is not. Tuesday, 6 in the morning. You're at the gym before work. The lobby TV is muted. A news segment is running with closed captions. The footage is Tamarindo, a surfer paddling out. The caption reads, Americans buying coastal property at fastest pace in a decade. You stop walking on the treadmill. Costa Rica, residency by real estate. The price of admission is $150,000. Not in cash you keep, in a property you sit on. You skip San Jose entirely. Fly in, drive out to Guanacaste. Rent does not apply. Your monthly outgoings once you own are smaller than your New York grocery bill. After U.S. tax and living costs, you bank $5,000, 2,060 more than New York. Then you remember the line you read last week in the residency forum. Home invasions are rising, car theft is rising, even in the nicer areas. The price of safety here is now priced into every quote you get. You buy the gate, you buy the guard, you buy the cameras. And the 150,000 stays in the walls, not in the markets. Pura Vida is the marketing. The keypad is the reality. The treadmill belt slows under your feet. $5,000 a month. With a keypad on every door. You start walking again. Lunch at your desk. You are eating something cold while scrolling LinkedIn between calls. A post from a colleague you have not spoken to in 2 years. He moved to Montevideo 18 months ago. The post is a photograph of the Rambla at golden hour. The caption is short, 2 years, best decision I made. The comments are 63 Americans asking how. Uruguay. You established tax residency here. Uruguay greets you with a holiday. 11 years of zero tax on every dollar earned outside Uruguay. The United States still wants its cut. Uruguay does not. Rent on a 1-bedroom in Pachitos, $1,000. The Atlantic in gray-green. After U.S. tax and rent, you bank $3,500. Uruguayan tax is zero. 11 years of that untouched. Then you remember the page in the printed guide. After year 11, you pay Uruguay's full rate, 25 to 36%, not small. You plant the tree in year 1. You sit in the shade in year 10. In year 12, you start paying for the shade. 11 years is forever, until it isn't. You close LinkedIn. The next call is in 3 minutes. $3,500 a month for 11 years. Wednesday morning, August. The humidity is its own weather system. You walk 3 blocks to the subway with AirPods in. The podcast is a finance show. The host is interviewing a tax lawyer who lives in Dubai. The lawyer is in the middle of a sentence about UAE residency when you push through the turnstile. Your shirt is wet through Dubai, dry heat, a different kind of weather. Your tax bill on foreign income here is zero. The United States, of course, still wants its share. The UAE does not. Rent on a studio in Dubai Marina, $1,600. In central Singapore, the figure is closer to 2.5. The tax is zero. The rent is not. After U.S. tax and Dubai costs, you bank $2,900. Roughly what New York paid you. Then the podcast guest says something that lands. He describes the cafe in Dubai Marina where he works most mornings. Every accent in it is American. He laughs while he says it. The people you find when you arrive are the people who left for the same reasons. The thing you were trying to leave reassembles itself in the destination. Won the tax, lost the reason. The subway doors close behind you. The carriage is fully air-conditioned. The shirt is still wet. $2,900 a month. The same as New York. Evening, home, on the couch. The lease renewal email arrived at lunchtime. 12 months, 12.5% increase, and you have been ignoring it for 6 hours. The phone rings, a friend who moved to Tirana 6 months ago. He is just calling to say hello. You let it go to voicemail, then you call back. Albania. He tells you what you have already read. Americans get 1 full year visa free. Walk in, stay. No country in Europe lets Americans test drive a life this casually. Rent on a 2-bedroom in Tirana, $500. A coffee at a Tirana cafe, under $1. After U.S. tax and rent, you bank $4,600. The Albanian Riviera is 2 hours south. You can leave whenever. No lease, no 12 months, no 12.5%. The catch is what your friend is calling about between the good parts. The systems other countries take for granted are still being built here. If you need a serious mortgage, a hospital network, an international school, you are navigating a country still figuring those out. Worth it for the cash. Costs you the system. You hang up. The lease email is still open on your laptop. You still haven't replied. $4,600 a month with no system underneath it. Thursday, 2 in the morning, you cannot sleep. You get up. The kitchen is dark except for the laptop. The printed guide on the counter is open at the chapter you have read 7 times this month, the Paraguay chapter. The corner of every page is folded. This is the one you have not stopped going back to. Asunción. Permanent residency, a deposit, a clean record, a single trip. The country that taught everyone they could leave still hasn't told most Americans about this one. Your tax bill on foreign earned income in Paraguay is 0. The United States still wants its share. Paraguay does not. Rent on a 2-bedroom in central Asunción, $600. After U.S. tax and rent, you bank $4,400. The catch is what the book has been saying for 40 pages. The banking is thinner. The healthcare is thinner. The English language, anything is thinner. You traded the systems for the price tag. But this is the chapter you keep coming back to. The catch is the catch you can live with. You close the book. The cheapest one-way to Asunción leaves in 3 weeks. You book the flight. 2 months later, Asunción, the jacarandas are in flower. You step out onto the balcony of a 2-bedroom apartment. Rent, $600. You signed the lease yesterday. $4,400 a month is what landed in your account this morning. 0 Paraguayan tax. The United States took its share and went home. The accents in the cafe on the corner were not American. The rent was $600. The frontier was the catch you could live with. The Brooklyn kitchen counter is 6,000 miles away. The 7 tabs have been closed for 2 months. The tax return is in a file you don't open anymore. The jacarandas keep flowering. 7 countries, 1 decision. If you earn under $80,000 and value stretch dollars over paperwork, Mexico. If you want Mediterranean life and you can navigate 2 visas, Spain. The DNV is the door. The NLV is the trap. If you have $150,000 to put down and you want the climate, Costa Rica. By the gate. If you earn over $200,000 and value calm over career options, Uruguay. For 11 years. If you value 0 tax over context, Dubai. With the accents that followed. If you want the lowest commitment with the lightest paperwork, Albania. For 1 year at a time. If you value 0 tax and you can live with the frontier, Paraguay. The Paraguay margin over New York is $1,460 a month. Invested at 7%, 5 years, $105,000. 10 years, $253,000. The latter was never about saving on rent. It was about how fast the surplus compounds. It was 7 countries, 1 decision. Which catch could you live with? Which catch is already a deal breaker? Drop both below. 1 shift changes everything.